Good day to all of you. Myself, Dr. Arvind Sharma, Associate Professor in Physics, Government Dogar College, Bikaner. Today, we are going to discuss finite potential well. There is a very interesting and effective lecture by B. Djurevich. Okay. Initially, they describe infinite square well that we already discussed in last lecture. Okay, we know that potential conditions for infinite potential valve Vx equal to 0 between 0 and a, and infinity if mod of x is greater than 0 and a. And we already solve it. Eigenvalues, eigenfunctions. Here you can understand the wave functions concepts. For n equal to 1, we know that ground state is n equal to 1, has no limits. If we see here n equal to 1, okay, at the boundaries you have empty nodes. A node is 0 for the a node is a 0 of the wave function that is not at the ends of the domain of the wave function. What is node? A node is a 0 of the wave function. The zeros at x power 0 and x power a do not count as nodes. This is a very important point. Again, clear it, ground state has no nodes. That means in between that, x equal to 0 and x equal to a, these are not nodes, but in between there is no node, and x equal to 0 and x equal to a, the zeros at x power 0 and a do not count as nodes. Clearly, psi1 does not vanish anywhere interior of 0a, and therefore it has no nodes. That means it is in fact true that any normalizable ground state of a one-dimensional potential does not have nodes. Any normalizable ground state of a one-dimensional potential does not have nodes. For n equal to 2 has one node, that is first excited state. At x equal to a, the midpoint of the interval, the second excited state n barabar 3 have two nodes. Okay, the pattern is in fact nth excited state will have nth excited state have n nodes. That means if n equal to 1, there is 0, n equal to 2, 1 node. That means number of nodes are n minus 1. Number of nodes are n minus 1. This is very important point that should be clear. In figure, the dotted vertical line marks the interval midpoint x power 1. This is symmetric. This is 0 to a, then midpoint is x equal to a by 2. And this is the situation of symmetric potential well if infinite well shifted to the left to make it symmetric about the origin, then minus a by 2. plus. In the figure, the dotted vertical line marks the interval between x power a. We know that the ground state is symmetric under reflection about x power a. The first excited state is antisymmetric. Indeed, its node is at x power a by 2. The second excited state is again symmetric, symmetry and antisymmetric. The symmetry just noted is not accidental. It holds in general for potentials Vx that are even functions of x. V minus x equal to x. Our potentials does not satisfy this equation. But this could have been changed easily with no consequence. We could shift the well over so that rather than have Vx equal to 0 from G to A, it extends from minus A by 2 plus A. And then it would be symmetric. It would be symmetric about the origin. Okay, we will later prove that the bound states of a one-dimensional even potential are either even or odd. Here we are just seeing an example of such results. The wave function psi nx with n equal to 1 to form a complete set that can be used to expand any function in the interval x is set of 0 to that vanishes at the endpoints. If the function does not vanish at the endpoints, the convergence of the extension is delicate. And physically, such wave function would be problematic as one can verify that expectation value of energy is infinite. So, these are the some explanations for infinite potential. Now the topic which we want to discuss today, finite square wave. What are the conditions on potential? Vx equal to minus V0, magnitude of x less than or equal to A. Okay, where V0 is positive, that means negative minus V0, but V0 is real. Okay, and Vx0 for mod x greater than or equal to A. Note that the potential energy is 0 for mod x greater than A. The potential energy is negative and equal to minus V0. We defined V0 to be a positive number. V0 is positive but minus V0 is negative. The width of the well is 2A from minus A to plus A. The finite square well potential minus A to A minus V0. Okay. So here is 0, here is 0, and between minus A to plus A minus V0. Finite potential well. Also that we have placed the bottom of the well differently than in the case of the infinite square. The bottom of the infinite square well was at 0 potential energy. If we wanted to obtain the infinite square well as limit of the finite square well, we would have to take V0 to infinity. But care is needed to complete analysis. The ones in the infinite square well are measured with respect to a bottom at the 0 energy. The ones in the finite square well are measures with respect to a bottom at minus V0. This is the difference. In infinite square well, measured with respect to a bottom at 0 energy, and for finite square well are measured with respect to a bottom at minus V0. Now we will be interested in bound states. Okay, if energy is negative, then that states are known as bound states. energy eigenstates that are normalizable. For this, the energy E of the states must be negative. This readily understood if E greater than 0, any solutions in the region X greater than A where the potential vanishes would be a plane extending to all the way to infinity. Such a solution would not be normalized. The energy E is shown as dashed line in the figure. We have minus V0 less than E less than 0. Note that since E is negative, that means E equal to minus mod of E equal to minus mod of E. For a bound state of energy E, the energy E measured with respect to the bottom of the potential is E equal to E minus V0 equal to V0 minus mod of E greater than 0. Those E are ones that can be compared with the energies of infinite square well in the limit when E is 0 than equal to infinity. What are the bound state solutions of Schrodinger equation with this potential? We have to examine how the equation looks in the various regions where the potential is constant and then use boundary conditions to measure the solutions across the points where potential is discontinuous. As we do same thing by using the boundary conditions. Now for simplicity we define Ax by d2 psi upon dx2 equal to minus 2m upon h bar square e minus vx psi equal to alpha x x, where we have defined the factor alpha x that multiplies the wave function on right hand side of the Schrodinger equation. We then consider the two regions, mode of ax greater than a, alpha x is positive constant. The wave function in this region constructed with real exponents. If mod x less than a, alpha x negative constant, the wave function in this region is constructed with trigonometric functions. The potential Vx for finite potential value is an even function. We can therefore use the theorem cited earlier and proven later, that for an even potential the bound states are either symmetric and antisymmetric. We begin by looking for even solutions, that is solutions psi for which psi equal to minus x equal to psi x. Even solutions. Since the potential is piecewise continuous, we must study the differential equation in two regions. For x less than a, d2 psi upon dx2 equal to minus twice m h bar square e minus v0 equal to minus 2m upon h bar square v0 minus magnitude of E psi. V0 minus magnitude of E is positive constant defined as k greater than 0. K square equal to twice m upon h bar square v0 minus delta E greater than 0, that means k is positive constant. It is interesting to note that this equation is not too different from the free particle equation. This is free particle equation. Indeed, V0 minus E is the kinetic energy of the particle, okay, and the K has the usual interpolation. Differential equation to be solved now reads psi double dash equal to minus k square psi. Psi double dash equal to minus k square psi. for which only solutions only even solutions. Psi x equal to cos kx for mod x is. We are not including normalizable constant because at this state we do not aim for normalized eigenstates. We will get an eigenstate, and while it will not be normalized, it will be normalizable, and that's all that is essential. We are after is the possible errors. Normalized wave functions would be useful to compute expectation values. Mod x greater than a, psi double dash equal to minus twice upon h bar square e minus 0. So k square equal to twice m magnitude e upon h bar square for k. Psi double dash equal to k square. And the solutions are exponential. In fact, we need exponential that decays as x tend into plus minus infinity. Otherwise, the wave function will not be normalized. This should be physically intuitive in a classical forbidden region. For the probability to be far away from the world must be vanishingly small. X greater than a, we choose the decaying exponential. Psi x equal to a e raised to minus kx x greater than a is a normalization constant to be the a is a normalization constant to be determined by the boundary conditions. Moreover, the solution is even when psi x equal to a e raised to minus k magnitude of x and mod x greater than k. Now, it is useful to note that kappa square and k square satisfy simple relations, and we see from the expressions of k square and kappa square equal to twice m v0. At this point, we make progress to introduce unit-free constant xi and eta as and z0 as eta k a greater than 0, xi k a greater than 0, z square equal to twice m v0 square. Here, xi is proxy for kappa and eta is proxy for k. Okay, xi is proxy for kappa and eta for k. Both depend on the energy of the bounds. The parameter z0 unit free just depends on the delta associated with the potential. The depth v0 and the width and the mass m of the particle. If you are given a potential, you know the number z0. A very deep and or wide potential has very large z0, while a very shallow and or narrow potential has a small z0. As we will use the value z0 tells us how many bound states the square well has. Multiplying 2.25 by a square and using our definition above, we get, you just multiply this equation by a square and using these constants, we have eta square plus xi square equal to z square. Let us make clear that solving for xi is actually like solving anything. From equation 21, we can see xi square equal to k square a square, and replacing it equal to become z square upon magnitude e upon v0. From this we get magnitude e upon v0 equal to xi upon z0 whole square. This is a nice equation. Left hand side gives the energy as a fraction of depth v0, and the right hand side involves xi and the constant z0. The quantity eta also encodes the energy in slightly different way. From equation 2.17 we have eta square equal to v square a square. This becomes this equation. And using 2.14 and provides the energy E equal to V0 minus E. What is E bar or average E measured relative to average energy measured relative to bottom end of X. V0 minus eta square H bar square upon X. This formula is convenient to understand how the infinite square energy levels appear in the limit as the depth of the finite well goes to infinity. Note that above answer for the energies is given by the unit free number eta multiplied by the intrinsic energy of an infinite well of fluid. Let us finally complete the construction. We must impose the continuity of the wave function and continuity of psi dash at x barabar a using the expression for psi for x less than a and x greater than a. These conditions becomes psi continuous at x equal to a cos के a बराबर a e raised to minus kappa a psi dash continuous x बराबर a minus k sin k a equal to minus kappa a raised to minus kappa. Dividing the second equation by the first, we eliminate the constant a. Find the second relation between k and factorial k and factorial k. This is exactly needed. The result is k tangent k equal to k. We just divide this from here. This is k tangent a equal to k tangent ka equal to kappa and k tangent k equal to kappa a. This becomes eta equal to xi equal to eta tangent. Our task of finding the bound state is now reduced to the finding the solution of simultaneous equations. Even solutions eta square plus xi square equal to z square, xi equal to eta tangent eta, where eta and xi are positive numbers. These equations can be solved numerically to find all solutions that exist for a given fixed bound. Each solution represents one bound state. We can understand the solution space by plotting these two equations in first quadrant of eta and xi as shown in figure 5. This is eta and this is xi. And this graph is you plot graph for tangent. Okay. Graphical representation of the simultaneous equation, the intersection of the circle with eta tangent eta. This is circle and intersection of these curves. These are eta tangent eta. These curves are eta tangent eta. Okay. So these points are deepest bound state. This intersection and this intersection, deepest bound state, and this is equation of circle eta square plus xi square equal to z square. Okay. So in figure 5, these solutions are shown. So you can easily see that first equation in a piecewise of circle radius is z0. The second derivative xi equal to eta tangent eta gives the infinitely many curve at eta grows from 0 to 1. The value of xi goes to infinity for eta approaches each odd multiple of pi. The bound states are represented by the intersections in the plot Helmholtz. In the figure we see two intersections, which means two bound states. The first intersection takes place near eta equal to pi by 2 and xi approximately equal to 0. This is the ground state for the most deeply bound states. This can be seen from equation 2.29. Alternatively, it can be seen from 2.31, noting that this is the solution with the smallest eta. The second solution occurs for eta near 3 pi by 2. You can easily see first is near pi by 2 and second is near 3 pi by 2. As the radius of the circle becomes bigger, we get more and more intersections. Z0 controls the number of even bound states. Finally, note that there is always an even solution no matter how small Z0 is because of the arc of the circle. Will always intersect the first curve, xi equal to eta tangent eta. Thus, at least one bound state exists, however shallow the finite well. At least one bound state. How much shallow finite well? But minimum one bound state is exist. Odd solutions. For odd solutions, all our definitions remains the same. The wave function now is the form psi x equal to sin x for x less than a and a e raised to minus kx for x greater than a. Like matching psi bar at x equal to a, xi equal to minus eta cot eta. As a result, the relevant simultaneous equations are eta square plus xi square equal to z square, xi equal to minus eta cot eta, and xi comma eta greater than. In figure 6, the curve xi minus eta cot eta. Okay, these are the curve for xi equal to minus eta cot eta and xi versus eta. The curve between xi versus eta. Intersection of circle with xi minus eta cot eta. There is a bound state and this is circle. Similar explanations as even solutions. You can easily see that the solutions near the eta less than pi by 2 does not appear because eta is the negative. For z0 less than pi by 2 there is no odd bound solutions, but we still have even bound state. We could have anticipated the quantization of the energy by the following manner. Suppose you try to calculate energy eigenstates which, as far as solving the Schrodinger equation, are determined up to overall normal equation. Suppose you do not know the energy is quantized and you fix some arbitrary fixed energy and calculate both in the even and in the odd case. We can set the coefficient of the sin kx or cos kx function inside the well equal to 1. The coefficient of the decaying exponential outside the well are undetermined, we call them. Therefore, we just have one unknown capital, but we have two equations because we impose continuity psi and psi s at x equal to 3. If we have one unknown and two equations, we have no reason to believe there is a solution. Indeed, generally there is none. But then if we think the energy is, if energy is unknown, then energy appears at various places in the equation in k and kappa, and therefore having two unknowns, a and two equations, we should expect a single solution. This indeed what happens. Here wave functions are shown. E1, E2, E3 are energy levels, and this is E1, E2, Psi1, Psi2, ground state function, 0 node because minus and a plus a nodes, boundary nodes are not counted, 1 node, 2 node, that means n minus 1 nodes are possible. Okay, so this is a MIT Open Courseware series, and the lectures are very good and interesting, also very enriching conceptual part. So you carefully read this. There is difference in notation from your book, but the results are same. Okay, thanks to all of you.